Well, still on those KZN floods, the Home Affairs Department says it will be assisting flood victims who've lost their documents during the downpours. It's after entire homes were washed away while others were buried in the mudslides. For more on this, I'm joined by Home Affairs Minister Dr. Motsoaledi. Dr. Motsoaledi, good evening to you. Thank you for your time. Look, the assistance needed by families in KwaZulu-Natal is really great right now, because it's not just about those that have passed away, but the 40,000 that have been affected. Many, especially those whose homes were destroyed, would be in need of new documents.
Good evening, Kathy. Good evening to the viewers and the listeners out there. Hey, Kathy, this morning I heard you complaining about your voice. Mine is worse. I'm sure you'll try to tolerate me. I've got a very heavy flu. Yeah, Kathy, you are right. They are going to need our help. Indeed, we are ready. Because firstly, there will be people, their beloved ones. Unfortunately, we are able to issue a death certificate even when our systems are not working. Remember, we have got problematic systems that are sometimes off. Even with systems that may be offline, we'll still be able to issue a death certificate because we write it manually, and later on, will register and issue a computerized copy. The second thing are about people who have lost documents. All they need to do, fortunately, is to give us their names and their date of birth if they don't remember their ID numbers. If they remember them, that will even be better. But if they don't, they can just give them give us the date of birth. We'll then check in the National Population Register. If they are there, then they'll have two choices. If they want an ID. If you want it immediately here and there, yes, we'll be able to give it to you, but it will be a temporary identification certificate for which you must come later to take the real one. If you don't want an immediate temporary identification certificate, we can apply for your smart card, but it will take us between 3 and 5 days to be able to issue it. If you want a birth certificate and it's lost, you'll also give us the name and the date of birth. We'll give you a birth certificate here and there when you are in the office. And if, on the other hand, it's somebody new who wants a birth certificate and the child has been born more than 30 days ago, that is a late registration of birth. Unfortunately, it takes a bit of time because it needs a special process. Lastly, we have got 14 mobile units in KZN. If the need arises, we'll augment them with units from other provinces. Tomorrow, we are waiting for the Joint Operations Center or the councillors to give us the names, a list of the people who need all these documents we are talking about, death certificate, birth certificate, or ID. Once we get the list tomorrow, we'll know. Then we'll be able to target whoever needs them.
Minister, you know, of course you're speaking from the perspective of national government, and I wonder how much you've been speaking to officials in KZN about the work that they're doing in the province, because just this morning, you know, the Public Protector, Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, was saying that her office has been trying to assist people, and they had difficulties, especially when it came to accessing Home Affairs services, and that the officials that she spoke to at National Department sent her back to the province, and it was a big concern about the accessibility of these services right now.
Kathy, we have got a total of 77 offices in KZN. On the 12th, all of them were not working. They were all off work, offline because of network problems. And so there was nothing we could do whatsoever. However, on the 13th, 75 of them came back online. Only 2 were not working. It was the Donghart office, which had no connectivity at all, and it was the Chancellor's office, which had was completely flooded. But still, on that day, we were able to issue 81 death certificates because I told you we can do handwritten ones, and we're able to issue 35 temporary identification certificates. On the 14th, that means the Thursday before Good Friday, yes. On the 14th, all the offices were back online. And of course, remember, Home Affairs has got a problem that we don't work during weekends because we are still negotiating that with unions. But from tomorrow, all these services will be open, will be accessible. So I'm not sure what the public protector, when he said Home Affairs offices were not accessible, what does he mean? If he means during the weekend, yes, most of them don't work during the weekend, except if they do so voluntarily. But if he means on Thursday last week, all of them were working. So perhaps it will be good to hear which days the public protector was referring to.
Let's talk about the challenges of accessibility right now, because there are areas that officials have been able to get to and others not so much. How are you as Home Affairs responding to that? Because, again, it seems to me that it will be quite impossible for people, at least most of them, to make their way to the physical offices themselves.
As I said, Kathy, we are waiting for the list tomorrow from JOG and or councillors. Once we get the list, we'll target particular individuals and we'll see what to do. If they can't access offices, we'll try to reach them with our mobile units. As I said, we have got 14 of them in KZN. If the need arise, we'll augment them with mobile units from other provinces, because we have got a total of 100 in the whole country. Now, obviously, if the roads are damaged, such that a mobile unit, even a mobile unit cannot reach them, we will talk to the Defense Force and see if they can help us with our with their helicopters, because then we'll do two things: issue a death certificate and a temporary identification certificate, so people can go on with their lives.
All right. Home Affairs Minister Dr. Motsoaledi will leave it there for this evening, and I apologize for the poor audio quality connection to on that line this evening.